As Bitcoin idealism blurs, liquidity will drop essentially and return areas of strength for 2 levels. In any case, in this Bitcoin cost video we check out at the chance of an enormous expense decline and continuation of positive expense signals. Authentic information shows that Bitcoin's ordinary worth has mysteriously fallen underneath the $28,000 territory, and Bitcoin is as of now exchanging great beneath its not unexpected worth. There are right now 35 million broken exchanges, which is the most significant level regarding liquidity. Continuously utilize the most recent confirmed executable code. The webcast is at present live. There are 2 4-hour courses and 2 2-hour courses. It is exceptionally impacted by the RSI marker and overbought conditions. In spite of the negative numbers, Bitcoin's worth reach performed quite well, and the disarray about the general improvement of 47% ended up being totally silly. Be that as it may, gradually we are fixing the complicated issue. Perhaps nobody on YouTube showed us a potential response. The cost was around 28,601. Time to quit utilizing Bibit survey. Levels in a Fibonacci set generally check out in the event that there are heaps of insane bars showing the bearing of the block. It shows me that my most serious issue isn't my looks. RXS could rise rapidly after Fibonacci retracement. I figure I ought to show you the last Fibonacci retracement. Once more, the Bybee method is protected and accordingly not utilized in the current circumstance. Above, we time travel through the hyperactive prefrontal cortex. Obviously, it's much lower than it is presently and the whole is augmenting, however it's still in accordance with Coinbase arrangements. Obviously, you can in any case utilize the standard system of utilizing the bitstamp structure. Bitcoin has created all-in-all a ruckus in and around the urban communities where the dollar is most grounded. Pick your level obviously. Perhaps you don't comprehend as obviously as you would like. Will the worth of Bitcoin go up or down? Considering what we said yesterday and the headway we are making towards the new ordinary, our development numbers are phenomenal and set a positive example for day-to-day development. The worth of Bitcoin is falling nowadays. It turned out to be increasingly significant. Coinbase outlines don't show a drop in volume, yet Bybit does. Bitstamp's diagrams successfully catch this downtrend by bringing down reality bar. This expects that you have similar reserve funds as in the past, whether or not you choose to separate. I think it was a decent consummation, a decent, fulfilling finishing. Because of the ubiquity of Bitcoin in this country, they are extremely careful about upsetting existing business exercises. Since we work in this market, we want to give speedy updates on the furthest down the line changes to the Bitcoin vault. Question 1: Bitcoin's prime is finished. We showed our words with tears. In my next article, I will respond to this definite inquiry when I began to lose confidence in Bitcoin overall. Toward this path, we can expect Bitcoin exchanging volume to drop altogether and return to past lows. In view of this potential, we should zero in on exemplary instances of harassing and animosity to distinguish the third pattern of this story. On the off chance that this prompts an emergency, what is our next genuine spending objective? The focal objective is the Fibonacci retracement of 0.618, around 24,500, a sharp drop from the past low. I totally concur that you are correct. Quite possibly of the best monetary objective in the ongoing circumstance is for Bitcoin to crash in the following 2 to 3 days. We will handle your case inside a couple of hours. The edge proceeds. Be that as it may, this can happen rapidly on the off chance that you don't do whatever it may take to accomplish momentary security. It isn't yet known where the Bitcoin exchanging gathering question will be held. In this specific case, center around a time period of around 4 hours and consider how to choose a sensible Fibonacci retracement level by examining every one of the significant parts. Lift your hand amiably without dropping it. At the point when Bitcoin at long last acquired fame, it battled with standard Fibonacci retracements with a moderate activity standpoint. At last, a break over the past high makes a significant Fibonacci level or something else entirely that is stowed away from us. The organization plainly answered by proceeding to raise costs above past record levels. Something should be added. My position is that this region is as of now the most underestimated region. Clarification: you should be ready to take care of explicit issues and in this way center around the primary course. I don't need to consider it. The words, Bitcoin shocking, are composed on the slate. Backslash 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 backslash. Asterisk 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 asterisk. House backslash 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 identifier asterisk 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 asterisk. Assuming that you think nobody cares, kindly help this astonishing new turn of events. The circumstance is quickly disintegrating. The beginning worth of Bitcoin is $26,900. The conclusion of the delightful channel has practically changed this fundamental examination office. As the essential standpoint for Bitcoin becomes more clear, liquidity for the most part increments and gets back serious areas of strength for 2 levels. Nonetheless, this Bitcoin proposition video investigates the potential with immense expenses and steady certain expense signals. In light of verifiable information, the complete worth of Bitcoin appears to be questionable at $28,000, and Bitcoin is exchanging at a low cost. At present, 35 million applications are compromised, which is the main level according to a liquidity point of view. Continuously utilize the most recent followed progress code. The webcast is at present live. There are 2 4-hour courses and 2 2-hour courses. Shockingly, it is affected by RSI signals and overbought conditions. In spite of the negative signs, the Bitcoin Esteem work area performed quite well, and the 47% misguided judgment about the general improvement ended up being totally silly. In any case, we are continuously fixing the issue. Perhaps nobody at YouTube offered us a potential response. The cost was around $28,601. Time to quit utilizing Bibit audit. On the off chance that there are a ton of insane bars showing the improvement of blocks, the Fibonacci levels will unsettle. The most concerning issue with my appearance is that it's scarcely observable. RXS could rise rapidly after Fibonacci retracement. I figure I ought to show you the most recent advancements of the Fibonacci course of action. Here too the BIB strategy is protected and in this way not utilized in the current circumstance. Above, we time travel through the hyperactive prefrontal cortex. Obviously, it's much lower than it is currently and the hole is enlarging, yet it fits impeccably with Coinbase arrangements. You can involve the Bitstamp framework similarly, utilizing standard strategies. Bitcoin has caused disturbances in and around urban areas where the dollar is its most steady power. Pick your level obviously. Perhaps you don't really see the value in it as obviously as you anticipated. Will the worth of Bitcoin go up or down? Considering what I said yesterday and the new ordinary changes coming, our age numbers are great and mirror for the most part certain age design. The worth of Bitcoin is falling nowadays. It turned out to be increasingly significant. Coinbase diagram is more negative than Bibit's outline. Raster illustrations push the limits of present-day reality and characterize what genuinely debauched plan is. This implies your substance stays significant regardless of whether you share it. I think it went true to form and turned out to be both basic and fulfilling. Since Bitcoin has never existed in this country, they are extremely careful about disturbing existing business lines. Since we exchange this market, we really want to keep you refreshed on the most recent changes connected with Bitcoin enlistment. Question 1: Bitcoin's pinnacle is finished. We showed our words with tears. In a later article I will make sense of precisely when I began to lose confidence in Bitcoin overall. In this way, we ought to anticipate a critical drop in the quantity of Bitcoin exchanges and a fast recuperation from past lows. This potential makes us focus on the exemplary instances of embarrassment and aggression toward track down the third contort in this story. In the event that this prompts an emergency, what is our next genuine spending objective? The primary objective is the Fibonacci retracement of 0.618, around 24,500, a sharp drop from the past low. I totally concur that you are correct. One of my monetary objectives in the ongoing circumstance is for Bitcoin to go down in the following 2 to 3 days. We will assess your case in 2 to 3 hours. Affirmation period. Be that as it may, this can happen rapidly on the off chance that you don't do whatever it may take to accomplish an ideal or brief security circumstance. It isn't yet known whether Bitcoin exchanging gathering question will be held. In this specific case, believe about the fact that you are so prone to have the option to endlessly break down every one of the important parts, while holding back to choose the Fibonacci retracement level. Try not to bring down your hands, however raise them liberally. The adjustment of complete capital expense of volume can correspondingly be utilized to record surface levels. Bitcoin could drop to the 26,900 level in the following hours or days, so we should keep a watch out how the market responds. As these levels debilitate and ultimately fall, Bitcoin's proceeded with quality as a unit of record is being tried. We regularly check out at things and spotlight on WXY and exceptional valuations. Get the most recent news. All dangers are against us and we are ready for them. Bitcoin is in a tough spot at this moment. We lost 26,900 lives, and were immediately wrecked by an absence of help supplies. We should take a gander at the tensions intrinsic in Bitcoin. After cautiously considering the general blueprint of the arrangement, the ideal space should be painstakingly thought of. All in all, it's anything but an old block, however a truly associated block, and it's not restricted to 28,000. The main beneficial thing we can do is arrive at least $28,000. By sitting tight for the total inversion of the Fibonacci design, you can perceive the delightful scope of the Fibonacci exchanging strategy that goes through a few degrees of stable directional levels. I absolutely concur with that. We accept that Bitcoin ought to keep on moving in the most positive course. It is essential to check your objective well before you leave. True to form, a potential new occasion could surpass past highs. The ongoing decrease in Bitcoin exchanging volume is stressing. It sets me in a decent position. I'm extremely mindful of what's going on with Bitcoin, however I will keep on developing my portfolio. I immediately discovered that Fibonacci signs and gold levels seldom change to reflect different example occasions. This is the last and most normal choice. It is vital to take note of that in the drawn out the worth of Bitcoin will keep on expanding once the stockpile of gold spans 29,000 or 400. This is the way we figured out how to arrive at everybody. The unforeseen response of the 1:1 Fibonacci retracement has persuaded some to think that Bitcoin WXY's downtrend is finished. Be that as it may, as I said prior, I'm wary about the outcomes. I anticipate that you should act rapidly, and I concur that reallocating huge parts of the prefrontal cortex to different undertakings can deliver positive signs. In view of all that we've expressed up to this point, might you at any point make a savvy exchange by selling, purchasing whenever? Note the plainly bullish nature of the RSI marker and its ascent and fall. On the off chance that you trust that the MACD marker will follow dependably, you will see weird and striking festivals of Bitcoin promising and less promising times. I concur that the text is mistaken on this. It's never really smart to leave an entryway unlatched. Truth be told, dismissal fire has seen curiously high exchanging volumes both in actuality and on the Bybit stage. For instance, because of Coinbase, you can see a huge expansion in exchanging volume beginning 2 to 3 hours prior, which is by all accounts a typical stretch. Not at all like practical money exchanges on a frenzy prompting scale in and out of town, the significant inquiry of how rapidly security will arise after the cash is gotten should be thought of. Then, at that point, I can say decisively that I concur with what he says. Record all that you see. I'm not in the best situation to exchange this area as I'm in a sell or purchase position in the bullish area. We realize all the programmed cash is yours. For specific resources like gold, you can add or deduct what occurs by killing a touch of Bitcoin. Debasement has expanded altogether since the last pinnacle. Somewhat, our doubts were legitimate. In the ongoing circumstance, it could likewise search for other fast acquisitions to fabricate the development per share, as is normally proposed. At long last, everybody can recollect the gold Fibonacci levels of $29, $200, and $300. As referenced above, tread carefully. The focal long-haul reference level is 26,900, which rests towards a held position up against Bitcoin, which could be lost forthcoming challenges, negative signs or obscure signs. Many thanks. I trust your day ends up being similarly as lovely. Changes in the volume of direct expense of capital can be utilized to decide extra notional levels. Bitcoin could drop to the 26,900 level in the following hours or days, so we should sit back and watch how the market responds. Bitcoin's enduring quality as a unit of record will be tried as these levels help in rot and at last lead to a breakdown. We're continuously searching for something, watching WXY and doing some intriguing exploration. Remain tuned for new turns of events. Each danger is against us and we are prepared to confront it. Bitcoin is obviously in a tough spot at the present time. With 26,900 lives lost and deficient assets to answer, we were immediately wrecked. Think about the tensions on the sensible improvement of Bitcoin. By and large, you ought to painstakingly recall your choice and afterward cautiously think about your optimal base region. That is, they are not indistinguishable structure blocks, however really associated impedes, and are not restricted to 28,000. The main step we can take is to arrive at the base of $28,000. We are hanging tight for the second when the Fibonacci design begins to wrap up. The delightful piece of Fibonacci retracements is that a progression of levels go through a degree of ceaseless concentration. I totally concur. We accept that Bitcoin ought to keep on going on its most probable course. It is essential to painstakingly look at these objections. True to form, potential new advancements could beat past best entertainers. The drop in Bitcoin exchanging volume is surprising as of now. That sets me in a place of high standing. I don't know what's the deal with Bitcoin currently, yet I'll keep on developing my portfolio. I immediately discovered that Fibonacci signs and gold levels at times change to reflect different example occasions. This is the last and most normal choice. In the long haul, it is critical to consider whether the worth of Bitcoin will keep on rising when the stock of gold scopes 29,000 or 400. In this way, how about we get everything rolling? The astonishing response to the 1:1 Fibonacci retracement has persuaded some to think that Bitcoin WXY's downtrend is finished. Nonetheless, as I said above, I'm careful about the outcomes. I concur with this. Kindly demonstration rapidly. Exchanging an enormous piece of the prefrontal cortex to another work can create positive signs. Does all that we've discussed so far permit you to get a brilliant offer on each thing you sell, purchase? Investigate the plainly bullish nature of the RSI pointer and instances of rising and falling RSI markers. Assuming that you follow the MACD consistently, you will see extraordinary and intriguing festivals of Bitcoin value promising and less promising times. I concur that this post is off base. It's never really smart to leave an entryway slightly open. Dismissal Fire saw an exceptionally